Several people have shared their stories and experiences about sightings of La Llorona on Facebook. I will tell you about the supposed appearances of La Llorona, or at least a woman in white, near Boulevard 2000 in Tijuana. For those unfamiliar, this boulevard runs on the outskirts of Tijuana. It's essentially a highway that takes you from Otay, near the exit to Tecate and the U.S. border all the way to the sea in Rosarito. In between, there are new neighborhoods recently built on what used to be ranches and small houses in the middle of nowhere. Even before the highway existed, I had heard stories. My uncles used to visit that area for picnics. I never went, but my cousins told me it was a spooky road at night. They claimed to hear what seemed like a woman's screams coming from the hills. One of them even said they saw what looked like a woman's dress walking among the bushes when they were deep in the mountains hunting for hares. About 10 years ago, the boulevard was constructed, opening up the mountainous area that previously took hours to reach via dirt roads. It's a place with frequent accidents. I remember a high school teacher telling a friend and me about a strange sighting that made him veer off the road. He was returning from Ensenada to his home in the El Lago neighborhood in Tijuana. In the darkness of the highway, a woman in white slowly crossed in front of his car, almost stopping. He said he didn't see her feet or any leg movement, as if she was floating. The car ended up off the road after hitting a sign. When the police and ambulance arrived, he told them a cow had crossed his path, probably from a nearby ranch. He didn't dare tell the truth. Since that story about 10 years ago, I've heard other accounts, especially from people traveling on that road at night. It's a dangerous place where you must pay close attention, but it seems that occasionally if you look to the sides you might see something unusual. At least that's what people say. I've been living in a new neighborhood just steps from Boulevard 2000 for a few months. I use this road daily, but I try to avoid it at night. For example, my next-door neighbor, one of the few of us living in the private community, hasn't been in Tijuana for long. He just arrived from Sonora, and since he wasn't familiar with these stories of apparitions, what he told me a few days ago surprised me even more. He spoke of a woman in white he saw when he arrived at his house around 2 in the morning. He saw this woman in white walking down the street, looking from outside towards the interior of the private community, as if searching for something or someone. I want to say that very few of us live here. The houses are just beginning to be occupied, and there are private areas that remain completely empty. Because of this, since there are so few of us, it was strange for him. And it was also strange for me a few days ago to hear a scream in the middle of the night. When I looked out the window, I could have sworn I saw a woman pass by, just about 100 or 150 meters from me. From where I was observing, I can't be sure until I capture it on my phone and convince myself that it really happened, that I truly saw her. I'm trying to find some explanation. Perhaps this neighborhood lies on the path that this being already had. Maybe that spirit just walks guided by the roads. Perhaps she used to walk through these areas, seeking the presence of someone who could see her. I don't know. What I know is that these stories used to be limited to Boulevard 2000, the very dangerous Boulevard 2000. More than a boulevard, it's an extremely dark and lonely road. And now, if what I've seen and what I've been told is true, that woman in white, La Llorona, is beginning to move up into the surrounding neighborhoods.